Happy full moon blessings, Aries. If you're ready, let's take a look and see what the August full moon has in store. Okay. What you need to hear from the universe this full moon, Aries. The Fool, I love it. So the more playful, risk-taking nature coming forth. I feel like this Fool energy is very natural for you, Aries, and it's that lamb side. Not in terms of being like foolish, but silly. And also the nature of being present to the moment and taking steps that are aligned with that childlike nature of joy. And also with that, there's some new beginnings as well. Okay, so loving this energy, opening things up for you, Aries. What will this full moon bring into your awareness? Seven of Cups. Okay, so maybe where we may have been fooling ourselves, correct? Where we may have been unclear, where we may have been overwhelmed, or where the options that are at hand either aren't so great or we don't really know what to make of them. The Seven of Cups here, in this space of what the full moon will be bringing to your awareness, anything, anyone that you haven't been rather quite sure of what to make of, anywhere again with this energy of illusion, delusion, of uncertainty. Even within your own self, if you have struggled to let go of old habits, and or if you have been stuck and in positions of being indecisive or unclear, in your own sort of mental emotional states and that sort of thing. That's where this nice energy of a new beginning and almost like a fresh start is opening up. And also being able to, I feel, and hearing this energy of freeing yourself from those people, places, situations, cycles of, just addictive, bad habits, again, just things that are counterproductive, counterintuitive, and just, again, those energies of stuckness. This full moon will be highlighting any of those areas where you can now stand to overcome and or, clear through, gain some clarity in, okay? Wherever things have been murky, this full moon will be bringing it into light, okay? What you may need to revisit this full moon. Two of Cups. Okay, so first thing that I heard immediately outside of, the heart healing aspect of the Two of Cups, when we look at our own core, nature within, with the sacred duality of our feminine, masculine energies, that heart to heart connection within, being in a sense of peace within. Obviously, stepping outside of that, relationships. So potentially looking at, again, areas, when we have these cups here, we have this Fool, there's a particular aspect of awakening, emotional awakening, clarity, where again things have maybe been murky or foggy, locked up in, just toxic and or not helpful patterns, of uncertainty, self-doubt, like how am I going to get through this? How is this going to happen? How's that going to happen? Possibly even. There's these areas, again, with the Two of Cups in the revisitation aspect this full moon that are saying, I'm getting, first and foremost, I know that the Cups is significant of water, but I'm hearing breathe first and foremost. So, bringing the oxygen to the heart, to the lungs. I see, if we think of it, right, with the Two of Cups in that space that helps to purify the blood. So doing things that are going to help you to feel a bit more aligned with your core, intuitive, creative, expressive self in the soulful way. Aligning with your soul, your heart and soul aspects. And again, even in terms of, recognizing that when we are clear internally, of course, when we're in that healthy space within ourselves, a healthy kind of inner world and our soul communication within, it makes it that much easier, right, to communicate externally with the world around us. And, the listening, and the speaking part of the communication, right, of the soul. So in that sense, right, just kind of, reestablishing even those connections, those healthy connections, reinfusing those core bonds with that sense of love, and not hesitating to kind of, put yourself out there a little bit and touch in with those people that maybe you lost touch with for a minute. Okay, so okay, advice for a smooth full moon. Ace of Pentacles. I'm loving this. So some new beginnings. And I love, again, now we're opening up with the Fool. You see how this sweet little chick is like about to step off the branch, right? What are you going to step onto? The new beginnings here. Solid new beginnings. Things that you can see, hold, and touch. Okay, this could be in the way of just the material world. When we're looking at the Pentacles, is the Earth aspect, so career based, financial based, and I'm also hearing positive, possibly anywhere that you can, invest yourself. And that doesn't mean necessarily like going into stocks and bonds or anything, but your time, your energy, your effort that you put into, the physical, into what you can develop, see, hold, and touch here and now. So again, advice for a smooth full moon with the Ace of Pentacles. Focus on what you can take action upon here and now, the new beginnings that are coming through. Wherever you have been uncertain and kind of holding space, okay, I don't know what's going to develop. I would like a number of these things to happen, but we just got to wait and see. Well, I feel like the waiting and seeing is coming to a close, so you can really just lean into where you have stability, where you have prosperity, knowing that it's only going to grow and continue from there. Okay, you already kind of established some solid beginnings, the ability to move forth with a bit more joy and a bit more, kind of freedom, I suppose, leisure. It's going to be opening up. Okay, so last but not least, what kind of vacation is your soul craving this full moon? The Wheel of Fortune. There we go. So, just being in that space of that mindful pause of awareness, in terms of, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's that karmic wheel of destiny, right? And so what I mentioned with kind of just breathing, connecting with, the listening and the speaking part, this Wheel of Fortune gives me a little bit of that energy. And it's not necessarily having to be about listening and speaking, but in terms of when to take action and not, because even when you are not taking action, that's still making some type of choice and taking an action to be inactive. You're actively deciding to just hold a space and wait for conditions to improve, for things to become clear. There's no need to rush. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. All you need to do now is kind of just chill and let the bigger pieces fall into place. And when you see those opportunities and it's clear and you're ready to go, just go for it, And part of it is what I'm hearing is trust yourself, trust the work that you've done, okay? And more than anything, Aries, have a beautiful and blessed full moon. And by the way, if you would like to explore your own personal reading, don't hesitate, okay? Check out the link in our bio. Visit us, girlandhermoon.com, and we'd be more than happy to assist you with your own personal lunar reading, okay? So take care and have a blessed full moon. Okay, Taurus, it is full moon time. Let's see what the August full moon has in store. Okay. What you need to hear from the universe this full moon, Taurus. Daughter of Pentacles. Okay, I love this energy for you, Taurus. This is a nice, soft, sort of subtle, it's not necessarily playful, but there is this energy of gentleness. And that's what I'm loving for you, Taurus. We always associate that, people generally, right? We associate Taurus with that bull energy. But we don't realize, of course, that there's also there's softness, there's a refinement in how you perceive energy empathically, intuitively, all that good stuff. And so what you're needing to hear from the universe this full moon, Taurus, go with the flow. You know, I know that with this Pentacles, it's all about the earth energy, but where the fawn is concerned, it's following just that core nature of being present to the moment and allowing for those pieces that you don't have control over to just fall into fall into place. It's just like anything else when you are entering into a new phase and, you know, more, you know, metaphorically speaking, establishing, building your muscles, so to speak. So, you know, growing and maturing in so many ways is an energy that you can lean into, that it's something that's going to happen in its own time and order, that you don't have to rush, that this is a time for you to be gentle and at ease and to even just kind of have fun and to decompress a little bit, Taurus. So what this full moon will bring into your awareness, the Five of Pentacles, there we go. There's that sense of recovery, taking things slow, slow and steady wins the race. With the Five of Pentacles, it's saying that, if you have been in any positions of struggle, of suffering of any type, whether it's like, wow, I wasn't sure, like financially, how things were going to go, anywhere that you may have felt strained, this Five of Pentacles, in terms of what's going to be brought into your awareness, is just more clarity on, I feel, steps you can take to keep that progress going, keep the growth, keep the, again, if you're focusing on restoration, either physically, like with your health, with your body, that sort of thing, or where it's in regards to money, finances, the material stuff, okay? There's going to be a space where you'll be able to, I almost feel like, get things going again. Like if things have been like, oh gosh, I would love to do this, I would love to do that, but where's the time, where's this, the energy, This full moon, it's going to help you to get focused on this, just starting to take those small steps forward so it's not just so overwhelming. All right, what you're going to need to revisit, or what you may need to revisit this full moon. Three of Swords. Okay, so you see how these energies have the black, the white, and the red? Those are emphasizing where we might feel restricted from taking action. The mental body with the Three of Swords here, the air element, the thinking aspect, and the red symbolizing the physical realm, the root chakra, survival, the fight or flight instincts, and that sort of thing, right? Again, what you may need to revisit, just as I was mentioning here, are those areas where, maybe for you, Taurus, you felt like, well, that's a loss, so just forget it. We're not going to have any progress, so it's better for me to put it in the back of my mind and not like pretend that it's not there, but like when you are powerless to something, like what's the sense in feeling powerless to it, right? And so this energy of what you may need to revisit this full moon, Taurus, it's, don't be afraid of it, okay? You're going to have a new perspective here. You're going to have a new perspective of maybe some issues that it's like, if anything comes up and it feels like a reoccurring thing, like, oh, I thought that I dealt with this. Don't worry about it, baby. Okay? This full moon is saying, whatever is being brought to your attention, my love, this is that time to let's push it through, let's clear it out, let's do this work. You've got the energy now, you've gained the strength, you've had the downtime. Let's clear out those clauses, let's clear out the blockages. And you don't have to be overwhelmed, it's step by step. Initially it's just like, oh my gosh, it's never going to happen. Now it's like, okay, we do a little bit at a time, whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, this huge transformation happens. So, advice for a smooth full moon. Father of Pentacles. All right, so focus on those areas where you do have a sense of control, where you can take action. Keep doing that, because when you focus in that way, Taurus, man, you blast through, you make things happen. I mean, anybody who has a Taurus on their side when it comes to the business, the finance, getting things done, when it comes, because it's see, holding and touching, where the buck stops, you want a Taurus to be on your side. So lean into that power of yours, Taurus, to actually physically make progress, take steps, take action, show up, make things happen. You know, you're gonna have that nice balance of the playfulness and the seriousness being aligned again. So, you know, again, those areas where you thought, man, maybe it's just never gonna happen, all of a sudden, this little window of hope opens and you're like, what's happening? So take advantage of it. Don't be afraid, okay? And I've got your back. We got your back here. What type of downtime is your soul craving this full moon? Six of Swords transition. So I'm loving that, even though, you know, on the core level, we look at the earth energy, right? The root chakra. And again, because you have that Taurus energy, you know, that fixed element of the earth, that's your power. You know, it's like when you've really exerted yourself, do you need some time to rest, right? But once you've rested and everything, holy smokes, it's like, boosh, you're ready to go. And so remember that about yourself, okay? Give yourself that credit and that confidence. The Six of Swords, in terms of the type of vacation, I see the Six of Swords as breathing, leaning back, enjoying the opportunities that are making themselves available to you to just kind of pick and choose which route you're going to take. Again, this is a moment to choose the path of least resistance for you, okay? So there's not a lot of thinking involved. That's what the swords would indicate. And so that's why it's nice. You can just kind of show up, do your thing, go home and sleep, you know? So think about it that way, babe. All right. And let yourself just steer clear of those kind of, you know, the conversations that get to be so staticky that it gives you a headache. Yeah. Clear through from that. But otherwise, my gorgeous Taurus, if you would like to explore a personal and private reading of your own, please don't hesitate. Check out the link in our bio. Visit us, girlinnermoon.com. And we'll be more than honored and happy to do a little private session for you with regards to this full moon cycle or anything else that you may desire to inquire upon. Okay, so have a blessed full moon and take care. All right, Gemini, the August full moon is upon us. Are you ready to explore? Let's see what's in store. Oh my goodness, all of this rhyming. Okay, Gemini, what you need to hear from the universe this full moon. Seven of Cups. Okay. So, there may be a bit in your life that's churning at the moment. And it's not that you're like freaking out and can't handle it, but like emotionally, I almost see you sort of stepping back and stepping back and stepping back. And so I just want to say, I almost feel like breathe a little bit, okay? Breathe a little bit. There's a lot that's ahead, baby, and I understand. But just breathe, because remember that there are people around you that love you and they don't know what's going on in your mind. They don't understand how your Gemini consciousness can manage this type of state of being. Not everybody is so good at being in a Seven of Cups type of space. And I'm not saying that it's a healthy, happy, or, you know, the best space for anyone to want to be in. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because just because we got the Seven of Cups here doesn't mean that it's all murky. It could simply mean that, man, there are just so many good choices, but out of all those good choices, in the long run, which one, right? Which one's going to make me happiest? And so part of what I'm hearing is pause and breathe. And remember, sometimes making no decision just for the moment, right? Giving yourself a moment of pause, giving the elements a moment to reveal a bit more truth, reveal a bit more, even for you, where your own emotional stuff might be a little bit clouded, a place for clarity, a place to assess. You know, it's kind of like with the roll of the die, as the things are sort of, you know, they're spinning, or you're kind of shuffling it. I don't know how you would call it. You're shaking you're shaking them up, right? That's kind of how it feels at the moment. So you gotta wait, roll it, and then let things settle. Say, oh, okay. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting for you, Gemini. So where you start to get pulled into confusion or conflict within, Just go to those spaces that are healthy for you to ground and center, just for a moment, to remember that, okay, this is a passing situation and I am in control, and the people around me, I don't know why, Gemini, but I'm getting, just like, give them little cues to know that you got it. You know what I mean? I don't know why, I'm just saying, all right? What this energy of the full moon will be bringing into your awareness, the Father of Cups. So using your voice, being communicative, being able to effectively start to speak what's on your mind, okay, and be understood. Because, I understand, Gemini, you're very, again, with the thinking, you can do a lot in the mental space, that others around you maybe don't quite process the same way. And so being understood isn't always the easiest. But again, here with the Father of Cups, and what this full moon is going to be bringing to your awareness is that maturity, that evolving, that growth, and establishing a sense of self-confidence, clarity, and effectiveness in using your own voice and speaking from the heart with authority. And again, that energy of clarity. Okay, so what you may need to revisit this full moon, the sun. I just heard immediately having faith and confidence, not just in yourself, but truly, yes, in the circumstances, and in knowing that even though, the direction that you may have chosen, while, it may be opening a number of possibility, potential path. You know what I mean? Like when people make a decision to be in a relationship, buy a home, have, start a family, and or just a business venture. There's all kinds of things that our consciousness starts to consider. And so what you may need to revisit, being present to the moment and being present to the opportunities and the actions, the choices that are here and now, so that you can maintain that sense of empowerment, of clarity, of confidence in who you are here and now. And with that being said, you're making choices from a positive, powerful, consciously aligned space. Okay? All right, advice for a smooth full moon. Father of Pentacles, I love it. So again, focusing on what you can see, hold, and touch, focusing on the physical process, the day-to-day, on what you are most empowered to act upon in your day-to-day process, even if it's in terms of, not even, but while rather being mindful of what's unfolding. Right? We want to be mindful because that's part of how you can also gauge where you're at in your developmental process, along co-creating, manifesting your bigger hopes, dreams, goals. Even if what it comes to is just growing in harmony and love, whatever, But again, advice for a smooth full moon, focus on those areas of what you can control, even if it's just your health, going out for a walk and being empowered to take critical action and steps in that way. Even in terms of around the home, again, what you could see, hold, and touch. All right. What type of vacation is your soul craving this full moon? Temperance. Yeah. So this all feels very aligned, with this aspect of personal growth and integration. There's a lot that's happening right now, a lot that we're cycling through. Finally, sort of gaining a footing, right, in what's happening post this massive, year and a half shift. And so in this sense, it's just about, again, managing your steps in terms of focusing on what you can take action on, while also giving yourself that time to allow for the developments that are underway to sort of continue. So I feel like there's a lot that's going to be, in process for you as you can. I just kind of feel like, again, manage your sense of the gas and the brakes here. I feel like that's what's going to help you feel good about what's to come, what you're stepping into. So with all that being said, Gemini, please don't hesitate. Check out the link in our bio. Visit usgirlinthemoon.com if you would like to explore a private and personal lunar reading of your own, or any other sort of reading or guidance that we can support you with. So have a gorgeous and bright full moon. Take care. Cancer, are you ready to explore what this full moon in August has to reveal? Let's see, ready or not. Okay, Cancer, what you need to hear from the universe this full moon. 10 of Pentacles. Okay, look at you. I want to say realize that everything and anything that you could possibly need is exactly right where you are, and you're doing what you need to be doing to secure your, I don't know why I'm saying this, but like financial freedom, you know, in any which way, okay? Like that's just part of what I got, boom, right off the bat in regards to this 10 of Pentacles, with what you need to hear from the universe this full moon. I feel like perhaps beyond that and to the core, it's really, you know, bringing us to this space of bringing our focus, our attention, and therefore that sense of connection and gratitude literally to our physical surroundings in terms of house, home, community, family, whatnot, you know, even just your own self, because, you know, truly and clearly our physical forms, our physical bodies, right, are the housing, the home to our souls, our spirit. And so from that inside out, right, from the ground up, I feel like this, you know, from the universe again, the message with this full moon is really just embrace the wealth, the abundance, the prosperity in your life because you've earned it. Okay, whatever sort of success that you've established, and if for whatever reason you're like, oh gosh, Kapualani, what are you talking about? Just sort of start to, as you know, they say, you know, with manifesting and the law of attraction, as you focus on the wealth and the abundance around you, that's what magnetizes, manifesting and attracting yet more, right, of that abundance and wealth, and the quality of that abundance and wealth. So what will this full moon bring into your awareness? The Hierophant. So there's something to do with house and home here. This key, the 10 of Pentacles with the physical aspect. So I'm really present, okay, with the Hierophant in terms of seeking out higher information, guidance, knowledge. You know, I'm just getting really a lot of this energy to the house and home for you, which, you know, doesn't surprise me because Cancer, you know, like house and home, family is such, you know, the biggest deal. But if anything, I get this presence of, again, bringing your efforts, bringing almost even your work and your focus from, I almost want to say like your, not just your higher self, but these activations that are coming through cosmically where spiritual and soul bodies are concerned. I do see and feel, again, that alignment, like how I was mentioning with the law of attraction notes. Okay, as you align with your higher self, as you start to align and focus on what you have control, power, and access over, with regards to tapping into and amplifying your wealth, Cancer, I feel like that's a lot of what this full moon is going to be sort of lining up for you, bring into alignment. And just even in terms of like the resources, people, right? Because you may not know what to do or where to go, but even just connecting with the right energies and seeking out the right opportunities and people, okay? In regards to whatever your materialistic goals are, you know, outside of house, home, that kind of thing. So what you may need to revisit this full moon, the Emperor. Okay, clearly these aspects of, I'm hearing, taking control over some bigger pieces of your life, whether it's just plans for the future and or being mindful of, again, like just what you can take action upon, what you can build with regards to wealth, and with regards to, again, just future plans in the here and now. So the revisitation aspect of the Emperor is a symbol of protection, is a symbol of, you know, that patriarchal energy, and wielding the authority of strategy and being methodical, coming from a place of life lived experience. So leaning into your life lived experience, your own sort of ability, your consciousness, you know, the conscious decisions that you can make, excuse me. So again, where you may not have the ability to take action, like in the bigger pieces and that sort of thing, the Emperor understands sometimes it's best to just kind of hold the space and do nothing. But it doesn't mean that you're doing nothing at all. It means that while those bigger pieces are coming together, the Emperor has the wheels turning in other areas, okay? Just to kind of keep the other pieces of the puzzle and the gears going. So keep that in mind. You know, just because there's some progress and accomplishments that you've attained here and now doesn't mean that the other pieces of the puzzle and what you're working toward are at a halt. Okay, not everything has to be stopped. I mean, it could be a positive thing, like you're in a great place or whatnot, but just pay attention, because I'm getting that there's some developments and opportunities that are going to be available to you, okay, to help things to be easier. So in the long run, advice for a smooth full moon: Seven of Wands. Okay, so the Seven of Wands truly calls you to focus on what is inspiring you, what you're motivated about, more or less to those purposes. Remember what I said about the Emperor? Just because, you know, so far, you know, everything's settled, you're in a really great place. We said to focus on those areas, right, where we have wealth and where we are grateful, all that good stuff. But that doesn't mean that that's all we're doing, right? In the meantime, by opening up to the creative energy, the creative vision, and even physically, you know, considering where we can take action. Like, for example, when it comes to building a garden, and right now it's just all rubble, you got to start somewhere, you know? So part of it is, even if you aren't clear on the, you know what I mean? That big goal ahead can sometimes be so far that you don't even know where to start. It's saying just start somewhere and make sure that those steps that you're taking, the actions that you're taking, are aligned, and that where you're coming from, the intentions and your core sense of passion and motivation is in sync with the bigger picture, okay? So what type of vacation is your soul craving this full moon? Death. Okay, that transformation you're ready to shed. I just feel like, you know, and gosh, you know, for Cancers, there's this huge thing about just transitions, whether it's house and home, whether it's business, company, your career. You know, if you go to any sorts of groups or community things, like, you're ready for a huge shift. Like, I think of the hermit crab that's outgrown the shell. Like, you've outgrown whatever physically you've been involved in, like, you know, in your process, and even it could just be your day-to-day routine that you've outgrown, you know, babe. So with that in mind, just understand, and you know, it might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it's the shedding. It's that transition where, again, you're shifting from shedding one shell, the hermit crab shell, and then, you know, you're establishing another one. So give yourself that little bridge period to pause, like, and I don't want to say necessarily like lay low, but where you are asserting yourself, make sure, or not, I don't want to say make sure, but focus on those steps that are going to be working towards your own future. So, like, for example, in regards to shedding the shell, this Seven of Wands would tell me, you know, it's that part where you're like trying to peel it off. It's like, like a bodysuit, not a bodysuit, you know, like a wetsuit, right? And it's like, having to peel off that wetsuit. So you might have to, you know, break a little bit of a sweat, but it's all to kind of shed what was. So if you're even just transforming your own physical self in any which way, that's part of it, is just kind of using this full moon energy as that support, you know, where you could use an assist, you know, to kind of push or nudge forward. This full moon is really going to help you lay the groundwork a bit. So with that in mind, feel free, please, to visit the link in our bio, visit us, growinnermoon.com, if you are interested in checking out a private, personal lunar session of your own, or just any other way that we can assist you. So have a beautiful and bright, blessed full moon, Cancer. Leo, it is full moon time, full moon August. Let's see what's in store. What you need to hear from the universe this full moon, Leo. Seven of Pentacles. So patience and doing a bit of self-inventory. This full moon, I feel for you, Leo, is really going to help you gain clarity and insight over all that you have established thus far. So allowing you a space to be mindful of your growth, your progress, in whatever which way that you have been asserting yourself. Okay, this is a time again to organize, to gain a sense of clarity, and even ask yourself, is what I've been working toward, even if I haven't had a big huge goal or anything, how do I feel about my, what I've been establishing for myself thus far, and where could I use some clarity, where could I use some alignment, where could I use some organization in my life, and who am I at this point, and what are my goals, moving forward. Okay, so what will this full moon bring into your awareness with this Seven of Pentacles in mind? Mother of Pentacles, here we go. So I'm hearing, a little bit of personal focus shift and responsibility toward the self. Again, there's this space to be a bit more independent, to be a bit more focused and comfortable, and just sort of slowing down and being sort of with the home space. Seeing again, that personal inventory comes up, and it could even be a moment to, with the full moon, just maybe even doing a little bit of cleaning around the home, because the space, of course, your house, your home, it is going to reflect and affect, right, our mental, emotional, spiritual, soulful energies and all that sort of stuff, and then it trickles down to the physical. So remembering again, what this full moon is going to be bringing to your awareness with the Mother of Pentacles, the time, the space, the focus, the energy to see, okay, even in your own self physically, if there's a self-care time, and again, just anywhere that you can tend to yourself, tend to your home. And in other words, like, even if you're coming into a realization that you're slowly but surely outgrowing, right, your space, it's again the Mother of Pentacles being in that awareness of your physical world, and just even again from the ground up in your own body and in your own home. So, and even if it goes to your work, for example, okay? So again, it's a time for a little bit of focus on the physical stuff, not in a shallow way, but just, because you could do it. I mean, I almost get this sense that it's just that time for it. So what you may need to revisit this full moon, the Father of Wands. Okay, so there's that fiery nature of that Leo energy that we get to kind of take advantage of with the Father of Wands. As I said, it's not necessarily boredom. In assessing and in maybe even revamping, like when we go through, for example, move some furniture in our home, it does shift the energy. And it also opens up, for us, our own creative vision, and life force is what the fire energy element, is all about. And again, understanding that with these new cycles, and as I mentioned, considering where you are here and now, what do you see for yourself coming up? And so the aspect of the higher chakras with the psychic vision, the crown chakra, considering what's ahead, being excited even about what's ahead, you should start to feel that energy of motivation, the excitement to want to establish some new goals, for example, and saying, oh, I've gained a little bit of ability of, to make more things happen. And so based on that, what do you see for yourself? Now that you have maybe even grown a bit or established yourself with your security and sense of foundation a bit, you now have a space to where you a bit more freedom to work with. Okay, so a little bit of that creative energy opening up, it can't hurt. So advice for a smooth full moon, the Hierophant: trust in your higher self, trust in the higher process, trust in your higher vision, connecting with this as a step-by-step process, bringing that vision into reality in whatever, big or small ways that you're able to, okay, with that Hierophant represents here more than anything. So it allows you that space to not rush, to continue to just absorb and consider the limitless, based on the limitless possibility potential. This is what I can do, okay? And on last but not least, what sort of vacation is your soul craving? The Tower, breakthrough, change, shift in consciousness, whatever has been sort of just stuck, boring, outdated, where you could use a little bit of a shift. That's what this Tower energy is actually representing with a break, you know. So where your fires have been sort of quenched, you know, you could use a little bit of support with an ignition again. So fueling the fires, fueling the passions. If you felt a little bit stagnated, getting the body moving at least should be a nice, helpful welcome for you in regards to the energy this full moon. So these areas you see with the bolt of lightning, with the yellow being with the free will, and then the orange here, and the reds even with the lower body, the physical chakras, root, sacral, and then again the solar plexus, free will. There are these nice areas that you should be feeling a bit of restoration to your core center again, Leo. So again, if you've been feeling suppressed, repressed, and not like necessarily stuck, but a little bit like you're having to really just focus on the mundane process, having to focus on, you know, just what you can do here and now, and you're ready to sort of be inspired again, you're ready to get excited, ready to start moving and shaking again a little bit in whatever which way that means for you. That's what I see, you know, that just be open and welcoming of those resets, of that sort of breakthrough energy, and set those intentions for the full moon, by the way, you know, to call it in as it aligns with your highest, greatest good, babe. So all that being said, please don't hesitate if you would be interested in a personal, private lunar session or otherwise of your own. Check out the link in our bio. Visit us, girlinthemoon.com, and we'd be more than honored and happy to support you. So have a beautiful, blessed, and bright full moon, Leo, and get ready. You know, jump into those exciting times you're ready for. Okay, take care. Okay, Virgo, stepping into the August full moon. Let's see what's in store. All right, what you need to hear from the universe this full moon, Virgo. 5 of Cups. Okay, so if you are and or have been feeling this sort of heaviness, okay, just know that it's going to pass. All right, Virgo? The 5 of Cups, you know, this word disappointment comes to mind, and I feel for you, so I'm just like, oh no. So part of what I'm getting, okay, I just want to say, don't give up. Just because, and I don't mean this with any sort of, oh, you know, just because, but you know, there are times when even in spite of our best efforts, and in spite of how much we plan and put forth that the faith and the belief and all that sort of things don't always quite work out the way that we had hoped, the way that we wanted, the way that we intended. What the 5 of Cups reminds us, and we know this internally, is that truly it's not over. Keep going, don't give up. This is part of the healing process, you know, in acknowledging those areas where we are still feeling sort of the self-doubt, where we are still sort of present to sensations of lack, or, you know, any sort of emotional heaviness. I don't want to say necessarily like dysfunction, but where we're just simply not able to, you know, mentally and emotionally. Mentally, we could say to ourselves, yes, there's always, you know, we know that things are going to get better, but emotionally, it's like we kind of don't care. You know what I mean? And so the 5 of Cups is just that encouraging note to saying this is the healing process, and part of the healing, like when something happens, right? You go through the clearing, the cleansing, and whatever type of repair, and then there's a recovery, and with that there's, you know, sometimes you have the therapy, you know, that when you're working with and reconditioning things. And so it's a nod to keep up. And it's sort of like the part where when you go from a really painful gash or you know, like bruise, and the bruise heals over time. And so it's just allowing for that bruise to heal, and it's like, stop pushing the bruise. You know what I mean? Stop making it worse. Like, stop re-hurting yourself. Like, don't do that. Let yourself heal. So don't, you know, put on any of those old broken records. What will this full moon bring into your awareness? Two of Swords, a space to breathe, a space to be still, a space of transition. So a space to connect again with a sense of what you do have control over within, which sometimes it's just that sense of feeling okay. You know, we don't have to feel happy, but, you know, we're not necessarily sad anymore. So sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's, you just kind of want to be in this space of, you know, not necessarily zen, but just an openness. And again, that's that healing space where if you just even look at a wound, and let's just say it goes from infected and it's healing now, right? And then it's that space where we just kind of got to leave things alone, air things out, you know, with the Two of Swords. Well, you may need to revisit this full moon. The Hangman, looking at things from a different perspective. So there's definitely this quality of reestablishing yourself from, you know, just the various layers of whatever energy work, healing work, inner work, you know, shadow work you might be processing, experiencing, going through. Just know it's you are so supported, you are so loved. I know you get it. It's like, sorry, I'm not Kapualani. But with the Hangman, as I'm sure you already get this, gorgeous Virgo, in terms of what you may need to revisit, seeing things from the ground up, going inward, reserving, conserving your energy, staying within, you know, and you do that really well, Virgo, of just kind of allowing yourself a space to contemplate. You know what I mean? And in this sense, it's not necessarily about thinking. Again, we're not trying to have any of those mental wheels turning, but it's focusing on the physical, focusing on your health, focusing on your own core sense of, like, you know, survival. So for you, like how people get really triggered, and it's like, you know, from the healing, however deep your healing process is, this Hangman is saying just honor that from the feet, like literally allow yourself that space to just breathe, to just be physical, like, you know, and just be basic, to not have to like think about all kinds of crazy big plans and that sort of thing, but to just take care of you and take care of what you need to do from the ground up. All right. Advice for a smooth full moon. Excuse me. I'm so sorry, Virgo. Sneezes usually indicate the truth. So whatever I was saying previously, let's just call it. All right. Advice for a smooth full moon, and whatever we're going to be looking at here. 7 of Pentacles. Yep. Focusing on the physical, focusing on the step-by-step. So for example, where you would be looking at your room, your own closet, start to organize, start to get things together, start to put it into perspective, start to allow yourself a space to reconnect with your sense of things by reconnecting with what you can see, just what's in front of you, based on your progress. You know, I tend to reflect on this 7 of Pentacles as personal inventory, a time of personal inventory, a time of personal assessment. And by looking back at what sometimes, you know, we can really touch in and get a physical, from the ground up sense of what we've established for ourselves. And it's not necessarily money, but even just in terms of how far we've come with our healing process. You know what I mean? It helps to look back on your progress. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, and therefore you can shift that perspective and say, okay, yeah, I am ready, you know, and or I am healing, I am getting ready, I am getting, you know, I am making progress. Okay, so look at the progress that you've made and think of it, consider it a big deal. okay? Those small steps, they're huge. They're huge. Okay, babe? All right. What sort of vacation is your soul craving? 7 of Cups. Oh, you could use a little bit of, I'm hearing like, oh, fantasy world for a little bit, like Disneyland. Not to promote anything, but the 7 of Cups in this case, I know it would be so much easier to just kind of get lost in, I feel like in the healthy way, a good book, a good movie, doing things in a healthy way that can really just kind of entertain, you lift your emotions is part of what I'm seeing with this 7 of Cups. And also, gaining that sense of clarity, just like clearing yourself from those more toxic patterns, behaviors, the old choices that kind of maybe led up to some of the distortions that you've been clearing out of, right? And so in terms of the downtime, in terms of a vacation, just a nice, gentle reset and a space to just relax and a space to unwind, a space to let go a little bit, but again in a way that is loving, kind, and healthy, safe for you and those around you. Okay? And so with all that being said, Virgo, if you'd like to explore a personal private lunar session or any other type of session that you might be able to use, definitely feel free to visit the link in our bio, visit us girlinnermoon.com, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. All right, so take care and have a blessed full moon. Happy full moon, Libra. Are you ready to see what's in store for you this August full moon? Okay, Libra, what you need to hear from the universe this full moon. The sun, hey, look at you. So spread your wings and fly. First thing that I'm hearing, Libra, I get this sense that if you've been feeling really pent up, this is that time to just take a breather, air things out. I get this huge energy of just opening up, new beginnings, positive, bright new beginnings at that. I get this sort of like blasting forth of energy. This full moon, truly, anywhere that, if you are feeling just joyful, where you might, even if it feels like it went from like a flip of a switch type thing, don't doubt it, trust it. Trust your core, trust your joy, trust the moment and the time that you have in the here and now, the steps that you're taking, the action that you're taking, the path that you're on. You're locked in to a positive stream, okay, Libra? That being said, what will this full moon bring into your awareness? Temperance. Okay, cool. So with that being said, air does feed fire, right? So slow down. You don't want to burn yourself out. This full moon will sort of, I feel, give you a space to, and I say this often when I see the temperance, find that kind of sweet spot, that finesse in your sense of using the gas pedal and the brakes. You know what I mean? So in that sense, the consciousness here with the heron, that energy, the symbol of integrity, I get this layer where you'll be put more in this position to slow down. You might be feeling really joyful, happy, and, bright and sunshiny. But remember to be grounded. That's part of what the temperance is saying in terms of just, the mindfulness of slowing down to the world around you and your own self, your own body experience, Because, sometimes when we just go, and we're not really considering how we're running our own selves ragged, burning the candle at both ends. That's where it's saying find that happy balance, and find that conscious sense of responsibility to yourself, the world around you, your own process, and knowing that this burst of energy, it's not going anywhere. Take advantage of it, anchor it in, make use of it. Okay, not rather than like blowing your circuits out, you know. So what you might need to revisit this full moon, 9 of Wands. So there's that moment of pause, like I said, with the fire. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. Slowing down, you know, getting caught up and seeing, remember, look back. When we take a moment to look back at how we've gotten to where we are, and we consider, you know, the pathways that we've chosen and the choices that we've made, there are lessons that we've learned. And it's not about punishment and it's not about judgment, but it's about, you know, how effective, efficient, and whatnot. Effectively and efficiently, we're using our energy, because Wands is life force, you know, and one way or another, that's where it's saying, remember from the past, remember from just times before where maybe you've overgiven or you've overdone it, or you know what I mean, or maybe you've been a little bit lackadaisical on yourself, whatnot. Anywhere that you may have like felt like, oh gosh, I really paid for it. You know, this is that time to find a balance. Okay, so there's these new beginnings and like a reset, a cosmic reset coming through karmically for you as well, Libra. So really take advantage of that time to breathe and kind of like engage the bigger picture, the bigger elements at hand. All right. Advice for a smooth full moon, 5 of Wands. So these connection to where you're putting your effort, where you're applying your action. The 5 of Wands is a card of observing, again, what's really worth your time and value, okay? What's worth your effort and energy, where you are putting yourself forth, whether it's in terms of, you know, doing for others and or in how you go about getting things done for yourself. So again, advice for a full moon is take a moment of time. I get to put some new, I guess with the 5 of Wands, I'm just present to this energy of practice makes perfect, and this energy of, you know, you're not necessarily having to, we're not trying to wear yourself out here, but it's like more of conditioning and reconditioning, that sort of thing. So reworking perhaps how you may have done things before, you know, because there's this clarity, and again, you'll be feeling that burst of aliveness to go out and do things more than likely. So you really want to channel that energy effectively, right? And not, again, burn yourself out or whatnot, or just kind of like, you know what I mean? Just to make use of it. And it's like, oh man. So what type of vacation is your soul craving this full moon, Libra? The Chariot. Okay. The wind in your hair. I feel like, you know, if you are feeling that burst of energy, again, the Chariot does sometimes indicate travel, you know, so whether it's going for a drive, going for a little bit of an actual like vacation or something like that, something that will put whatever kinetic, you know what I mean, energy, like I said, you might feel kind of just like you got to put your energy to use into something. So make use of that in a way that really channels, and how shall I put this? Just something to do, because, you know, the Chariot is really about a zenith of energy. It's really about focus. And, you know, with that said, you can have that sense of progress. So I feel like for you, anywhere that you can burn off like restlessness, you know, so not necessarily in having to be productive, but like it could just be needing to go out for a hike, for a run, for, you know what I mean, something like that. Like, even, I don't know why, but I'm even getting, if you wanted to go camping or something, you know, if you were called to do that, or if you felt inclined, not that I'm necessarily, you know, I'm saying that you are Libra, but just kind of keep that in mind. I think it's about getting things aligned, getting things organized, feeling yourself, you know, having some progress and things moving in some sort of way. So whether it's physically and you're actually getting out, moving about, whether it is, again, maybe hitting the road and going for a little bit of a drive or something like that. I just get this sense of you know, getting things moving in any which way will be helpful for you to find your sense of clarity and focus if for whatever reason you're feeling scattered this full moon, Libra. All right. So with that in mind, feel free to visit us. Check out the link in our bio, or visit us at girlonhermoon.com if you would like to set up a private personal lunar session for your own, or if there's any other way that we can support you. All right, so have a blessed and beautiful full moon, Libra. Scorpio, it is time for the August full moon. Let us see what is in store. All right. What you need to hear from the universe this full moon, Scorpio. Mother of Cups, look true to your nature, that water element, the sacred feminine, really leaning into your emotions, leaning into your empathic, intuitive aspects. And I'm also hearing taking that time to step away and removing yourself and any other just elements, people, places, whatnot that are no longer serving your highest, greatest good, and or at least that are not conducive toward your own kind of like wherever you're at right now, Scorpio. The universe is saying listen to yourself, listen to your emotions, listen to your gut, listen to your heart. Okay, listen to your intuition, because it's really going to be speaking. I think there's going to be a lot of insight coming through. And so if you're feeling overwhelmed, that's where I'm getting that sense to just kind of remove yourself, set your boundaries, turn the ringer off, turn your phone off, whatever, you know, and just be with you. Okay, so what this full moon might be bringing into your awareness. Like I said, there's that Mother of Swords, disconnect. The Mother of Swords is emotional detachment, gaining a sense of a higher perspective, being more in that space of logic and, how shall I put this? When I see this energy of the Mother of Swords, there's an aspect of contemplation, of just holding steady with what is. And again, there's this element of being aware of your boundaries, being aware of your limits, being aware of what is aligned with your highest, greatest good, what is healthy for you, mind, body, and spirit. And so it's again this aspect of isolation for your own benefit, of assessing the world around you. Okay, and that can, you know, it sets you up to again have a higher vantage point, to gain a sense of clarity in what decisions that to come would be the most effective to make, so that you're not being clouded emotionally, so that you can be in that space of choosing and taking action with the highest, greatest good in mind, while also just, honoring like the healing part, the love part, doing our best to make sure everybody's happy, right? But it's saying again, this full moon might bring in a little bit of a reminder to disconnect where you may have had a bleeding heart, Scorpio, because I know you, Scorpio, bleeding heart. Oh my goodness. But you gotta remember that that hard shell, that tough exterior with that stinger. This is that time we're gonna withdraw, gain a higher vantage point, because there's a lot of cuckoo stuff going on, right, in the world around. So it's that space where you might be feeling so present to it. It's best for you to just kind of find your balance, find your center. What you may need to revisit this full moon. 4 of Wands. There's that balance and center with the fire in mind, the element of fire, the spirit body, the life force, bringing the focus. I'm getting to house and home and reestablishing things, so it's not even that you're having to move or start anything new, okay? But where you do feel a sense of connection, aliveness in your own sort of, and I feel like day-to-day routine, because I think of 4 walls of a home sometimes when I see the 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Wands, it does promote new foundations, it does promote new beginnings. So this again is about how you're applying perhaps your day-to-day efforts, where you're investing your energy and your time, and whom you are sharing that space with more than anything, baby. Okay? All right, advice for a smooth full moon. 10 of Wands. What did I say? Look at your surrounding environments, my love. We have the households coming into play here. Number 10 with family. Wands. I think a family tree a lot of the times with the 10 and the Wands. So spiritually, where you might be having blocks, okay? Down to, sorry, I'm kind of like stuttering here. Advice first, because I'm looking at this as ways for you to work through this energy, right? So that's where these, remember what I was saying about assessing and understanding your limits. So it doesn't necessarily have to be about your family, right? So this is about your movements, and this is also about what is inspiring you, your vision for your own future, and the just even your own day-to-day energy, like the energy that you have to put into things on a day-to-day level. So again, advice for a smooth full moon with the 10 of Wands in mind is saying to pace yourself and remember that whatever burdens, whatever sort of hardships that you're shouldering right now, it's cycling out. This is the ending of the cycle. So keep focused on the positive, solid, healthy new beginnings. And not just that, but where you are also supported, knowing that you're not alone. Okay? So share the load, share the burden. And I understand sometimes you kind of have to remove yourself and gain that sense of clarity so you know what to say, right? But where you do have that support, Scorpio, don't be afraid to reach out, okay? There are people that love unconditionally as well and are willing and able to show up for you, okay, in ways that you've shown up for others, baby. So don't hesitate to reach out, okay? All right. What type of vacation is your soul craving? Oh, like I said, my love, 3 of Swords. So moving through and getting past these areas of, I almost feel like we're like miscommunication, or where there's been like any sort of dysfunction where the words kind of get in the way. That's where it's like you're ready to just be done with it, you know. This 3 of Swords in terms of a vacation that we're seeking, relief, right, from the headache, relief from where we are feeling mentally blocked from taking physical action, where we have uncertainty, doubt, fear, guilt, whatever is associated, you know, whatever is limiting us from feeling free and clear to take action in the here and now. So putting that emphasis and focus again into that space of where you feel a sense of joy. Again, understanding your limits and knowing that it's okay. Like, you know, you can still have big dreams. It's just about understanding that right now we can only work within this parameter of accomplishing those big dreams and goals. But it doesn't mean that those big dreams and goals are just going to stay, you know, we're going to be stuck in this parameter of things forever. It's saying that, again, there are areas of conflict, areas of burden, areas of sacrifice, for example, or hardship that are coming to a close for you with this full moon energy. And so let yourself, you know, where you need to communicate, where you need to talk it out, like write it out, baby. You know, like just because, you know, you don't want to like dump on somebody, right? You just kind of got to talk things out and vent, doesn't mean you can't vent at all. So write it out, and or just for yourself, like talk it out, talk to yourself out loud, talk to your higher guides, talk to your spirit, talk to your ancestors, you know. And if anything, not to sound silly, but I'm gonna add this in at the end anyway, if you would like to, you know, request a private personal lunar reading of your own, babe, go ahead, talk to us, you know. Visit the link in our bio, check us out, girllettermoon.com. We'll be more than honored to support you in any which way. So even if this 3 of Swords is about, you know, you're clear, you're happy, you're good, again, the vacation is just, you know what, I'm done with those conversations, I'm done with those misunderstandings, those types of energies. So we're just focusing again on the bright and what's ahead, okay? So have a blessed and beautiful full moon, Scorpio. Okay, Sag, let's look and see what this full moon has to offer for the month of August. Ready, Sagittarius? Okay, Sagittarius, what you need to hear from the universe this full moon. 9 of Cups. Okay, so let yourself process. I mean, I feel like for you, Sagittarius, it's one of those humdrum possible moments where it's like you get it, you get what's going on, you get that you're processing things out, you get that you might be kind of going through the motions. So if you are feeling a little bit of like blahness is what I'm getting for whatever reason, or just, you know, you're not really sure what you're feeling, you're okay, you know, but you're like not really feeling all as like bright and bouncy as your usual self, right? It's just saying it's okay, okay, Sagittarius. This is just that cycle that of clearing out of the old, like with our emotional bodies, you know, we're processing the old cycles and the previous cycles, excuse me. And so there may be a lot of changes that you've gone through. And this could, you know, the 8 of Cups, it's not necessarily that these shattered glasses are just negative experiences. This could have been the best party ever. And it's like, oh, we're just really sad and bummed that, you know, that was a great party. Wish it could have lasted forever. But now, you know, we got to focus on what's ahead. And so the universe is saying, you know, even though we realize that what you had before or what you went through isn't necessarily like, you know, you're having to get over all of this stuff. There is this energy of solace, I feel, or I don't know. I want to say, I hope you understand what I mean with this word saudade. And you can look it up. Go ahead and look it up. I think it's, forgive me, it's Portuguese, I believe, or it's from Brazil. I think Brazilian. But yeah, Portuguese. And please forgive me. Please forgive me. No disrespect to anybody, but that's just the sensation that came to mind where you're lamenting something that was. You know what I mean? And someone, something, a situation, your life, and not that you're like depressed about it, but it's like, oh, if only it could last forever, you know. And it's okay, babe, because we know that you're focused on those brighter things ahead. So with that in mind, what will the full moon be bringing into your awareness, Mother of Pentacles? And see, baby, I know that you're there. So keep focusing your efforts on the house and home. Keep focusing your efforts on what you're growing and establishing for yourself. The new life cycle that you're entering into, the changes that you've already implemented and made, you know, it's all coming into sync, and you will soon feel that joy. You'll soon feel that connection to that brightness, the cheerful bubbliness that you are again. You know, you will feel that. It's just all of the ebbing and the flowing of the life cycles and changes of things, okay, babe? So what you may need to revisit this full moon, what did I say? Ace of Cups. Where your cup hath runneth over, my love, because you know it. You have a lot of things to be grateful for, and I know you, Sagittarius. I know that you're aware of it. I know you're focused on it. I know that you are doing your best to drink from that cup. There's that part, you know, you're drinking from the cup. You're crying and enjoying and happy and sad at the same time, right? And so the revisitation with the Ace of Cups, continue to soothe and heal, continue to nurture and nourish. You know, you get it. It's not all about getting drunk on wine, but it's sometimes that heart healing medicine, the soul medicine, the love medicine, the new beginnings, the new life cycles that you're opening up to, darling. You know it, you're present to it, and I feel you, you know, and here it is that validation. So really revel in the joy, okay, and where you can source from joy, okay? So advice for a smooth full moon, Daughter of Wands. Lovely. There's that regeneration, opening up again, like I've been saying, to the new cycles, new experiences, and also just even possibly touching on sensations, joys, things from your childhood is sometimes, it's kind of what I'm being drawn to. So like what you may have done, like, you know, creatively speaking, that might give you that sense of may engage a sense of childlike wonder and whatnot. Go ahead and open up to those experiences, okay? And last but not least, what type of vacation is your soul craving this full moon? Ace of Swords. Look at this. You've got some aces, so definitely. And with the Daughter of Wands, Mother of Pentacles with the Fawn here, new beginnings, baby, new beginnings, okay? Your soul is craving that mental clarity, focus. You would like to be clear, you know, from the kind of stuff that's like still processing that you get, but you're like, I would like to focus on the things that are already here that I'm trying to focus on being happy about, but inside I'm feeling all of this blue, so I get it, baby. When I have that sharpness, like I said, the lightning bolts, that spark, the brightness that Sagittarian energy brings. And so be open to that. There's a restoration coming through, okay? New beginnings and a new outlook as well. And all that being said, Sag, don't hesitate, all right? If you would like to explore your own very personal, private lunar session, visit the link in our bio. Check us out, girlandhermoon.com, for any other way as well that we might be able to support and guide you. So I hope you have a beautiful, bright, and blessed full moon. Okay, take care, Sagittarius. Capricorn. Here we go. Looking into this full moon for the month of August. All right, Capricorn, what you need to hear from the universe this full moon. The world, hey, look at you. New perspectives. I'm even hearing awakenings to new experiences, opportunities. I just get this sense of like the night and day thing, all of the struggle and the strife and the what ifs. Things are starting to come into a bit more solidification again, so that should feel very good for you, Capricorn. So part of, again, with the world here presenting itself in terms of what you need to hear from the universe this full moon, this is going to be I feel like a time to really open up to the possibility potentials. So, be ready to just take advantage of some new cycles and opportunities to really open up to new choices and experiences, ways of doing things. Okay, so bright stuff here, Capricorn. All right, what will this full moon bring into your awareness? The Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Okay, got some very prominent cards here. With the Wheel of Fortune, I get this sense that, the restlessness that sometimes comes, with that kind of Capricorn energy, because I think of just that kind of busybodiedness, right? There's this balance. And I always tend to focus on the owl here with the Wheel of Fortune and awakening to that higher wisdom in allowing for the pieces, the bigger elements at play to do the heavier lifting for us. And, you're aware. You've kind of shifted out of those old patterns that have been counterproductive, where maybe, you could kind of do less but gain more, the type of thing. And so with the Wheel of Fortune, again, what's being brought into your awareness is having that sense of timing and understanding that karmic balance of things, and things, knowing that also it's the journey that matters and not the destination, not always the destination, so stopping to smell the roses, stopping to sort of engage and absorb the experience rather than just kind of trying to plow through and get things done, right? And that, I get it, when we're trying to just work and work, who wants to kind of keep working and working and working? You kind of just have fun too. So anyway, that balance, so that you can also be kind to yourself and not overwork yourself, right? So when you may need to revisit this full moon, Capricorn, Father of Swords, a little bit of, I'm hearing self-discipline in that space where you are stepping back and seeing, with the Father of Swords, there's that mental clarity. See the owl and how I mentioned it? I love when this happens. That's where I kind of paused. Spirit had me do a little bit of a shift. So in the revisitation aspect, really leaning into your higher intelligence and critical thinking self and the ability to effectively and confidently move through an experience, even, you know what I mean? I don't know why I'm putting it with Spirit's calling me to put it that way, but with the Father of Swords, I just get a lot of self-discipline and removing and just kind of, it's really about asserting yourself to staying on task, staying on plan, not being swayed or you know what I mean, distracted by like I said, by other things. I mean, you know, yes, it's the journey that matters, and not always just the destination specifically, but we can't forget the destination. You know what I mean? You want to get like total detoured, and that is like you end up in a labyrinth. They're like, oh, what happened? I forgot my name and what I was doing. You know, so it's remembering to stay on task, to have a goal. You know, not it benefits you to have a focus, to have a plan, and to work from a place where you know you have the most experience, rather than just, oh, okay, you know, you can just kind of like rely on this, rely on that, whatnot. Because it can, you know, you end up paying in the end, right? So really sort of like being detached, you know, from any kind of bias, so that you can be more in that space of critical focus and conflict resolution, okay? All right, advice for a smooth full moon. 10 of Cups. I love the rainbow energies here, because it's really this focus on the whole body, the whole chakra body alignment, the whole mind, body, spirit experience. And we've got the 10 of Cups, advice for a smooth full moon. It's really about putting that love, that focus, that attention and appreciation back into just your own emotional body, like wellness, well-being, house and home, where your family is concerned, your own sort of familial type connection. So even those friends that are like soul family. And really, I get this sense of spending time just enjoying and being in that space of gratitude, and seeing the love that you are surrounded by, seeing and embracing the love, the healthy love that is there for you, and being in that space of clarity that maybe you have really worked through a lot of intense stuff. But this is a time for you to celebrate and to feel that sense of, I'm getting the word like togetherness, and that you're not alone. That even though, you know, you might be in a space of really having to assert yourself and be focused and be a little bit more self-disciplined, it doesn't mean that you cannot appreciate the relationships, the positive, healthy relationships that are in your life. You know what I mean? All right. What type of vacation is your soul craving this full moon, Capricorn? Father of Cups. Awesome. So there are these energies of communication, using your voice, listening and speaking from that space that's aligned, you know, that is clear, that is effective, confident, powerful, but also in a space where emotionally you're totally understood, and people are welcoming to what you have to say, and they can really receive what you're saying. So again, in terms of just that downtime that your soul's craving this full moon with the Father of Cups, it's truly following your heart, listening to your heart, and speaking from the heart, and also trusting and following your intuitive, empathic, like vibes. You know what I mean? Like when you feel called to do something or say something, communicate something, and you know, the Father of Cups, there's the healing energy that comes with it, with the water element, and heart healing, emotional healing. And so speaking in those types of ways and communicating from that type of space as well. Okay, so definitely, Capricorn, if you would be interested in having a private personal lunar session of your own, or any other way that we can support you, feel free to visit the link in our bio. Check us out, girlundermoon.com, and we'll be more than honored to continue to support you. So have a blessed and beautiful full moon. Aquarius, it is time to dive into the full moon for the month of August, if you are ready. Okay, what you need to hear from the universe this full moon, Aquarius. 3 of Wands. Nice. So whatever you have been waiting to take action upon, whatever sort of, you know, how shall I put this? Positive influences, opportunities, resources, tools, steps, whatnot, you've been kind of anticipating, holding space to engage. I'm getting to just get ready, Aquarius. Okay. Start to really lean into, I almost am also feeling have faith and confidence, trust in your own third eye visions. The Three of Wands with the element of the psychic eye, I feel, you know, the psychic energy, the life force energy. You know, it's really saying, if you again have been waiting to apply yourself, if you've been waiting to take action, and or you've just been a little bit, you know, uninspired creatively speaking, you know, or unmotivated in terms of, okay, you know what I mean, just kind of going out there and having a little bit of fun, for example, I'm getting that you should start to feel open, and there should be some very nice enticing possibilities opening up for you. Okay, so what will this full moon bring into your awareness? Judgment. Here's that, the new cycles. Okay, opening up with the energy of judgment. There's a shedding of the past, breaking through anywhere that you've been doing sort of some inner work, like that dark night of the soul, that sort of thing, any sort of shadow work. This full moon energy, excuse me, well, number one, might be bringing up any sort of residual lingering things in that area, any shadow stuff. But more than anything, you should be cresting into opening up to these breakthroughs of new cycles, okay? Because judgment is a symbol of karmic rebirth and restoration, and possibly second chances. Okay, so as I was saying, you know, maybe if you've been holding out and waiting for some opportunities, things that really feel resonant and inspiring for you, you know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, we can do this, and that's just taking care of my bottom line, but something that's really going to be like, yeah, getting the fire going. That's where I see this full moon energy kind of influencing things so far. All right, what you may need to revisit this full moon. Death. Wow. So these energies of transformation, for sure. Energies of shedding the past, as I was mentioning, allowing yourself this space of transition. So this is really also a consideration, you know, babe, to say to yourself, okay, what do I see for myself? What is inspiring me, you know, moving forward? A little bit like opening up to a, you know, just that window of, you know, what is really speaking to you on a soul level, on a spirit level, while, you know, you're going through, and as I mentioned previously, addressing just the bottom line, the day-to-day of things, you know, the aspect of the moving and the shaking, again, the black and the white part, while all of that is sort of cycling out and being reestablished. This is that time again to re-enter, not necessarily the dream state, but more of the possibility, potential, you know, as it connects and relates to your own core creative dreams, manifestations, and things. Okay, so allowing a space again of shedding in the past and knowing that this is a little bit of a transition moment. Advice for a smooth full moon. The Emperor. Okay, so the Emperor steps into a place of planning, of patience, of protecting your interests, really, and just in that case, you know, your own self and your own future. I mean, really, these are some heavy hitting cards here, Aquarius. Okay, some huge cards. So, you know, have no fear. The advice for a smooth full moon with the Emperor, I feel like it really leans into your nature of being a thinker and being a planner and being inventive and being able to truly just kind of hold a space, again, as I mentioned earlier, while the bigger pieces are coming together, while things are in a state of transition or possibly a state of unknown. You know, we're again considering, okay, based on who I am, where I am here and now, based on what tastes and flavors are, you know, connecting with me here and now, where do I see, you know, what's inspiring me, and what do I see, you know, what do I want to play with, creatively speaking. There's no need to fully commit yourself to anything here just yet. With the Emperor, it's again about just maybe holding a space and tending to, again, the mundane, the day-to-day, while your bigger plans are unfolding. Okay, so what type of vacation is your soul craving? Six of Pentacles. So there we go, a little bit of that enjoyment, you know, getting out, maybe having a bite to eat with friends, family, you know, your partner, loved one. That's where I see that you can just sort of feed and nurture yourself on a soul level, again, while things develop, focusing on those areas where you can continue to see that return in the future, future return in your investments here. So with the Six of Pentacles, on one hand, again, it's just where you can sort of enjoy your leisurely time with friends, family, that sort of thing. And also, but it's about, more than anything, as you're out there engaging, as you're out there taking action, those actions and engagements are going to be benefiting you in the long term. So whether they're, again, relationships, even if it's business relationships, you know what I mean, that you're building in the meantime. So, okay. With all that being said, if you would like to explore your own personal and private lunar reading or any other type of reading or session, don't hesitate. See the link in our bio or visit our website, girlinnermoon.com, and we'll be more than honored to continue to support you. But in the meantime, have a beautiful, bright, and blessed full moon, Aquarius, okay? Okay, Pisces, it is that time again for the full moon. And as we approach this full moon in August, let's see what it has in store for you. Okay, what you need to hear from the universe this full moon, Pisces. Son of Wands. Okay, I don't know why I feel inclined to say this, but as you are, or rather I should say, if you've been feeling a bit suppressed, repressed, or unmotivated, uninspired, this full moon should be helping to cycle you out of those stages of stagnation. Okay, so in terms of the Son of Wands, as a message from the universe for this full moon, start to open up, where your more playful side is feeling inclined to explore, to try new things. Go ahead. Okay, as long as it's within the realms that's like safe and healthy for yourself and those around you, go ahead and play, Pisces. You've earned that time. You've earned this space to explore and to open up to new cycles. The Son of Wands, with regards to fire, is also an awakening of the spirit body. Okay, so you might even yourself feel inspired to kind of, get out there, move and shake a little bit, check out some new things. So again, don't hesitate, and don't push yourself, because you might get a little bit excited, so pace yourself. Part of what I actually heard when I first flipped this card was slow and steady wins the race. So remember, I know that you can really push through and you're very strong and capable, Pisces, but you don't always have to, just push through when in every single situation. You can use a little bit of gentleness and finesse, especially now. And I know. It's like when you're really excited, sometimes you just kind of, okay, I'm just really excited. I gotta breathe a little bit. So that's what I mean, There might be a lot of spark, to the fire. So let yourself have fun and play a bit, okay? What this full moon will be bringing into your awareness. The Hierophant. So there's that connection to the higher self, and it's really funny where it's like early bird catches the worm, and I mentioned slow and steady wins the race. So where you are feeling spiritually called and inclined to engage, to take action, or even just, it doesn't even have to be spiritually, but it could be creatively, right? Whatever is calling to your attention, listen to it. Be inquisitive, okay? The Hierophant is that calling to seek out information. So whatever might be nagging at you, scratching at you, listen to those spiritual insights, get more information. And so again, it's like if you're feeling called to a certain area or what, nobody's saying to go there, but maybe do a little bit of research and prepare yourself, gain some, knowledge before just going in, gung-ho, for example. All right, what you need to revisit this full moon, or what you may need to revisit this full moon. Three of Cups. All right, so one thing that I'm getting, the Three of Cups is all about just those intimate celebrations, gatherings, moments, having fun, for example. So part of what I get here is this essence of, again, not taking, opening up to these new experiences, but pacing yourself. So if you are going to go ahead and do something fun, you know how people are like, oh, I've never done anything before, and they go and do the most extreme of things, like, no, and it's like one of those things, like, have fun, but not too much fun. Okay, like, have like healthy fun for yourself. Be loving and kind to yourself. So in the revisitation, have fun, and have fun that's healthy, loving, and kind. And like, I feel like when I see the Three of Cups, I want to say more like on that small scale way. You know what I mean? Because for you, Pisces, the emotion and being in the thrill of it can get really like, woo, so just remember to ground and pace yourself for your own sake, right? And the sake of others, of course. But in terms of the revisitation, you can also stand to, where things maybe have been heavier, have been a little bit less inclined toward lighter, happier, just moments. That's where you can open up. So you know what I mean? Have the time to decompress, have that time to just kind of get together with friends at the end of the day and blow off some steam and da-da-da-da-da. Something that's lighthearted in that way, but still soothing and connecting to your soul and that playful inner child side. Okay? All right. Advice for a smooth full moon. Seven of Cups. Oh my goodness. So here's more like, okay, well, I don't know if we should be telling you to like really enjoy yourself here, or to be aware of how much. Like I said before, have fun, but not too much fun. This just keeps coming up. Because sometimes like we don't know our own limits. We just, when we want to go out and have a blast, and we aren't really being mindful to ourselves, you know what I mean? We just kind of overdo it a little bit because we get lost in the fun of it. So a little bit of advice is find the balance, find that happy in between, okay? And like, for example, if you're going to go out, have a night on the town with your friends, get a designated driver. That's like, you know what I mean? No, seriously, like, I don't want to sound silly, but you could just sort of put it that way, okay? And also, don't hesitate. Like, if you have disconnected yourself, for example, and you haven't allowed yourself to open up to a space of imagination, of fantasy, of like, what if, to the dream space of possibility, potential, even if it's like crazy stuff that you're not literally going to try to manifest or go after, but just allowing yourself that space to play, that space to be open, to dreaming again. That more than anything is, what I would love for you to lean into, okay, Pisces, to know that you're allowed to dream, you're allowed to be fantastical. It's just all about being grounded and what your intentions of what you're wanting to accomplish are, and, remembering that as you're living and breathing, things are developing, and with that, you are developing, you are co-creating. So it's about the type of reality, right? Being mindful to the reality, to the life experiences that we are desiring to co-create, manifest, and engage. So, being clear in those people, places, relationships, activities, and whatnot that maybe are just kind of no longer serving us. Maybe you're the same taste, when you enjoyed a certain thing for so long, then all of a sudden you lose the desire or the taste, the flavor for it. You know what I mean? It's one of those types of things. So it's, I feel, a time to kind of open up and expand even your palette as well. So it can be really exciting. Okay, but again, be mindful and loving towards yourself, right? So last but not least, what type of break, what type of downtime was your soul craving this full moon? Ace of Pentacles. So focusing on what you can see, hold, and touch, focusing on those positive new beginnings, in the physical aspect. And like I was saying, as you are just, dreaming and putting things out there and experiencing, you're also co-creating that type of life, right? So it's about focusing on what you can see, hold, and touch, what types of energies are going to be grounding for you, what's going to help you to focus on, what types of energies, what types of activities are going to help you to focus on your overall goals, when it meets the bottom line, when the rubber hits the pavement type thing. So it's like, again, have fun, but remember to keep your eye on the prize, your eye on, the just and I don't want to say reality, but the things that you can see, hold, and touch, in terms of what you're developing, because it's all in effect right now. It's all in flux. So with that being said, and this is actually these are nice cards, so don't be freaked out, Pisces. It's good stuff, new beginnings and all kinds of good stuff, new physical beginnings, new developments, possibly even opportunities where career path and just that type of thing are concerned. Okay, so good stuff. If you would like to explore a personal private lunar session of your own, or any other type of session, of course, don't hesitate. Visit the link in our bio or visit us girlonourmoon.com, and we'll be more than happy to work with you. All right, so have a blessed and beautiful full moon, and take care, Pisces.